Hey.
Good morning. You are the one you have been waiting for. That is our topic today. And I really like this topic. It dropped in on yesterday's live stream while we were talking about going the extra mile. And I have been saying this, it's even a big part of my solo book that's coming out this year. When you show up for yourself, the whole game changes. But if you're waiting for somebody to discover you and discover how great you are and how amazing your products are, your tools, your tips, you're not going to get discovered unless you show up for yourself and start being visible. No one else is waiting for you. It's you who is waiting for you to show up. The essence of you, the inner core of you, the purpose in you. So we're going to go deeper in that today. The summit is still happening. So you're invited to still register for the summit and receive our interviews. You can get all of our interviews. They're still coming out through the email. And also you can access the VIP. You can upgrade to your next level and start showing up by taking all the actions that show the universe and show yourself that you want this. You want to be doing your purpose work. You want to be in your power. You want to feel fulfilled and happy doing what you love every day. And you want to create prosperity, like money, doing it, and all the other things that come with prosperity. So, Connie, you're right beside me today. Tell us a bit about yourself, your work, and how, you are the one you've been waiting for. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, so I'm Connie Pertula, the menopause navigator and certified nutritional practitioner. So I work with women who are navigating the stages of menopause, all the way from perimenopause to postmenopause. And you are the one you're waiting for. I spent 34 years in the corporate world, and making the decision to become a solopreneur was, when I look back at that now, because I've been out of the corporate world for 13 years, I think. And when I look back at that now, what a big step that was, because I didn't realize I was, the technical department and like everything, the marketing department, the legal department, the whole bit. And it's something that, yeah, you do. You just have to say, this is what I want to do. This is my passion, and I'm going to figure it out. And it does require learning. But the way I look at it is, it keeps that brain very active. You can't be lazy. You can't let your brain be lazy. You can't let your body be lazy. So you just have to say, all right, I'm in this. This is what I love to do. And I have to show up for myself and essentially show up for my clients or potential clients as well, too.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, you are the one you have been waiting for. And are you ready to decide? That was the next part of the title. Are you ready to decide that your health, your wealth, your happiness, your joy is your responsibility to put first? Are you ready to do that? Linda, tell us more about you and your work and how this topic relates to you.
Yeah, so my focus is on energy, and I help people, professionals, particularly those who are highly sensitive, highly empathic, understand how energy impacts them, understand their own energy, and learn how to master their energy and the energy around them, so that they are not taking on energy that doesn't belong to them, so they're not giving their energy away, so that they really learn to thrive by understanding and mastering their energy. So as someone who grew up being, like many highly sensitive people, being told essentially that because I didn't think, feel, I wasn't the same as other people, there was clearly something wrong with me that needed to be fixed. I needed to fit in with everybody else, and I had nothing of value to say. That when I discovered my passion for energy, originally through feng shui and through holistic nutrition, It's evolved since then, but I knew it was so meaningful to me, and I knew that I wanted to share it. But because obviously I was so broken, I looked to everybody else to tell me what to do, tell me the steps to take, tell me what I need to do to make my business successful, for example. And, there are plenty of people who want to tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And I really thought other people had all the answers. And then, the more I embarked on a path of personal growth and started learning to trust myself, and then I started hearing, well, the answers are inside you. Nobody else has your answers. And I think, yeah, but how do I get those answers out? And so I think that's the value of coaching. When you have a good coach, they're helping you reconnect with yourself and find what your answers are, not their answers, not the blueprint that worked for them. If you follow these steps, this exact thing will happen for you because it happened for me. I believed that for a long time, and I tried all those things and they never worked for me. So it wasn't until I started finding people who helped me learn who I was and what was right for me that things really started to shift for me. So yes, the answers are inside you, and it's about reconnecting with yourself. You really are the one you've been waiting for. Nobody else can tell you what is right for you. So that's sort of my experience of it. And it's all about self-awareness, learning who you are. And then anything is possible once you realize that.
Yeah. I was in a client session right before this live stream, and I was telling them that our topic today is You Are the One You've Been Waiting For. And I was using the example of like magnetics even, right? Well, who's going to discover you if you're not like being in your presence, if you're not doing the inner work? Who's going to notice you if you're not showing yourself that you're serious about who you know yourself to really be? And maybe you don't know who you are really right now. Maybe you're confused. Maybe you're pulled in different directions. That is definitely the time to start talking to one of us so you can get clarity, get to know what you want so you can make decisions. Irina, tell us about your work and how you are the one you have been waiting for. You're muted.
Yes, I love today's conversation. It's so great because, again, a lot of times everything boils down not trusting ourselves. And that is the moment where you want to have the coach next to you who is going to believe in you. And that person is going to root for you to, to celebrate your wins and do everything just to really bring you to that self-trust and just connect with you on a deeper level. I love everything what Connie already mentioned, Linda mentioned, and just wanted to say a couple of words about myself. I believe that manifestation, because this is my jam, I love to use law of attraction to bring people to what they desire. So I believe that manifestation becomes powerful and fun when we stop being so serious and start playing with energy while taking smart and intentional action. And I love to work with business owners, especially coaches, creators, consultants, because I love to blend the universal laws with real strategies. Because a vision without the action stays a wish. And action without energy feels exhausting. So when we combine these two, that's when the wildest results show up. And I love to show people that it's possible. And if people are watching, they want to grow their business because we are never done. If somebody thinks that they've got it, let me tell you, coaches require coaches. We were never meant to do that alone. And if you want more money in your business, if you want to manifest bigger success, I'm the person to reach out. And I just wanted to say that decision is everything, because at this moment, everything boils down to our choices. It's a choice not to do anything. Just watch this summit and just, continue living your life. Or it's a choice when you decide that I'm done sitting and playing small and I want to go bigger, whatever direction you want to, right? And again, sometimes we need the tough love because we were never meant to do that alone. And we are the biggest obstacles for ourselves. Because if anything, if somebody is asking what's standing on your way, we are the ones that are, right? Because we are the ones to make that decision. We are the ones to take that choice.
Yeah. So you are the one who's standing in your way. You are the one you've been waiting to get out of your way as well.
Absolutely.
Kirsten, tell us more about the topic, how you understand it, and about your work.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Kirsten Liegman. I'm the CEO of the Regenerate Studio and a mentor for leaders, basically, of a regenerative future. And, as I looked at that topic, I couldn't help but think of my late husband, Rennie Davis. And he was one of the leaders of the anti-war movement in the 60s and really developed over the years an incredible intuition. And one of the things that he would love to talk about, and actually the name of his book is that The New Humanity, a movement to change the world. And it is basically, so I'm pulling back a little bit, a little bit more macro right now. It's like there is a group of humans on Earth right now who have chosen to be here to see if we can make a leap of life, a leap in our awareness, a leap in how we live and thrive on Earth. And I'm not meaning to make this like a special group or like they're somehow better than others. It's just a choice made before we were born to say, we're going to try this thing. Evolution is so slow normally. We're going to try to actually make a leap. And every speaker that you hear on this summit, I believe, is part of that group, just because we are so into like, what does it mean to be the ones we've been waiting for? There's been a beckoning, there's been a pull towards something more, something that is beyond the normal human experience, right? And it's been such a powerful pull for me, this beckoning towards the potential of who we can become, and letting go and removing all that is in the way of that. And I think the second part of that, are you ready to decide, is so key with this. This is a choice. There is no, in my belief, there is no like, you were going to get whisked into the fifth dimension and automatically evolved. It doesn't work that way. You have to choose to do the work that every one of these wonderful women are talking about. You have to choose to go, okay, what's in the way of me fulfilling my potential and doing what I came here to do? So it's just, I just wanted to presence him because he's been a big influence in my life, and this new humanity is here. And I believe the regenerative entrepreneurs that we work with really hold a lot of that pull of like, how do we show up in business, in life, in a more holistic, aligned, peaceful way so that we can create the world we want to live in?
Yeah. And Activate Your Prosperous Life is definitely filled with this frequency and transmission of a whole 33 of us who know that we're meant for something big. Do we know exactly every detail along the way? No, we have to take certain steps before the next step opens up to us. And this summit is a step. It is like a button pushing on the collective consciousness that, yes, I want to activate my prosperous life and I want to activate the prosperity consciousness in the world. That's the button I'm pushing because I'm the one I've been waiting for to do it. And I had to make a whole bunch of yeses and decisions all the way along before I knew that I was here at this spot. And you might be feeling that way too. Is like, well, where do I start? You start right here. Start right here. And then the next step opens up. Amani, tell us about your work and how you dissect. You are the one you've been waiting for.
Well, I thank you, Kirsten, for laying that foundation. I don't have to repeat what you said. You said it for me. So expanding from that space that you just created, it takes a lot of courage to be your authentic self and to follow that calling that's on your heart. And so I work with women who are change makers, thought leaders, conscious entrepreneurs who are ready to heal their hearts for the love of humanity. And this is taking courage to step into what you're designed and divinely designed to deliver as the gift on the planet right now. I take those women from their diminished identity, which often leads to doubt and delay. And I help them shift into their divine identity so they can decide and deliver and fully be in alignment with that gift that they're bringing to the planet. So this is the time now, absolutely the time now, as we're called to. You might have to be innovative. You might have to stand 10 toes deep in your position to hold the energy, so that as everything falls apart around us, you're standing on what it is you are authentically designed to be and bring to the planet at this time. So that's that layer. I mean, as I'm working with people who are bringing their voice to the world, and their business is structured in a way to support them in being the change that they have decided to be. And that's where it becomes, are you ready to decide? Let's decide. And when you decide, it is done. And then you tune in to the divine guidance that allows it to be the reality that we're all here collectively creating. That abundance that is already there, that prosperity that is already there, that well-being that is already there. It's all here for us. And we're shifting and supporting you and tuning in to that pathway for you. So that's how I'm working with my clients. That's what we're here to do. And I'm so excited. I'm vibrating. And that's when you know you're in alignment. It feels like joy. It feels like ease, even though it may not actually be easy. It feels like ease, going over the humps and the challenges. Like, that's a different space to be. And we got to practice being there more. And yes, you're the only one who can do what you do the way you do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're the only one. And I was the only one who could create this summit the way I created it. But I also needed co-creators through the speakers to co-create this experience. So I didn't do it alone. And I definitely have coaches on how to create a summit and business and inner work. And I have a whole bunch of health practitioners working with me too, to keep me in alignment so that I can do this for you. I want to do it. I've been working long hours and it hasn't been easy, but I've been having an exciting and a fun time and a really inspiring time. And the energy of joy has been carrying this whole summit through me. Michelle, tell us about your work and how you envision this theme.
Yeah. I could talk about this forever. It's literally probably the central point of everything that I do. I love to work with clients. I joke that we are creating their instruction manual so that they can hand it over to other people and say, here I am. This is how I work. This is how I think. This is who I am. This is what I believe. And I believe that as a speaker coach, as an embodied speaker coach, like speaking from here, from the body, and crossing that threshold into greater visibility, we are not being humble by staying small. We are not being humble by not sharing our gifts. We're actually keeping our gifts from the people who desperately need it if we're not showing up, and we're not showing up boldly and fully as ourselves. A lot of the work that I do probably is similar to Linda in the sense that I do a lot of work on that internal family system, right? All of the voices, all of the messages that we received over the years that told us that who we are is somehow wrong or too much or too little or whatever it might be, so that we are the ones who go back to those parts of us to be the loving parent, the cheerleader, the, you know, whatever it is. And that way we can really, we are being the one that we need, right? We are coming back to ourselves as the one we need. And that is, it's just so joyful and beautiful to watch people come back home to themselves. The other day, I used the metaphor of the river and the boulder in the middle of the river, right? And I do believe that when we come back home to ourselves, we are clearing that. And the flow is just effortless, and not effortless. I think the feeling, right, of that flow is effortless. And yes, of course, we're going to run into challenges, barriers, all of the things. But the more rooted we are in who we are, um, everything just magnetizes around that. And yeah, I could talk forever. So
I know.
stop.
Yeah. We're not going to, though. But I'll carry it a little forward for you. Like when I was younger, I had this big sense that I'm one of these people who's here to usher in a new frequency, a new level of consciousness. And I started doing the work. But I also, at the same time, was hoping somebody was going to come around and save me. Like there was this hope that I didn't have to do it alone, or that everyone would figure it out and I didn't have to tell them how it was, you know, I didn't have to like show the way even. And so I would always put my boyfriend's dreams in front of mine. And so I just want to talk to what you might be doing that is not aligned with you are the one you've been waiting for. You might be putting other people's dreams in front of yours, thinking that they're going to take you where you need to go. It's not going to happen that way. I've tried it a few times. It doesn't work. I had to stand on my own feet and do it and start taking my power back, right? And so we have to keep constantly watching us. Even the mentors need mentors. The leaders who lead by example also have leaders who they follow by example. It's all a teacher-student relationship all the way through. And where are you getting in your way still? Where are you thinking that you need to do this for other people first? Or where do you think someone's going to come and save you? And that's getting in the way of you deciding. That's keeping you confused. It's keeping you uncertain of your next step. This summit is a really easy step to get connected with people who have been where you've been. I've been where you've been. We have been where you've been. We understand you and we get what you're going through, but we also have found some ways, and we also offer shortcuts so that you don't have to stay in those old patterns or habits of being or mindsets that slow you down. So there's still opportunity to get into the VIP. Tomorrow night at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our last VIP Zoom call. And this is where you can get into the intimate container with us. Many of us on this call will be there, and we'll be holding space for you to go deep and to get laser coaching. You can ask us anything about your business, your life, your relationships, and your money blockages, and make movement forward, get movement forward to help you. So it's only $67 right now to get in the VIP. The VIP portal is going to be available after the summit too. There's going to be more, but it's going to be at $97. So I invite you to take advantage of the $67 offer right now and make a decision. It's a very small step to make a decision that you are the one you have been waiting for. Connie, I'm going to start with you again, unless anyone wants to interrupt me. But the talk title that you have is The Power of Menopause. What about nutrition and health? Do you have to stop putting other things first to take your power back in that position?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the things that, and I'm not bringing this up as a negative, but the traditional medical system taught us to rely on them. When something was wrong, go in, see your doctor, get a medication, and you will get better. But way long ago, hundreds of years ago, people relied on either themselves, knowledge that they had learned through ancestors about herbs or, particular things to do to heal themselves. And we lost that. And that's one of the things that I'm bringing back to the clients that work with me. Let's get to the root cause. Let's figure out what things we can do. And nutrition is a very big part of that. There's so much. I don't have TV, but anytime I'm at somebody's house and they have a TV on, and I'm dumbfounded by the amount of commercials that are around drugs and fast food and refined foods and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, wow, no wonder so many people are so unhealthy. And that's where we have to say, do I want to make a change? Do I want to make a change for myself? And it does. It takes planning. It takes thinking about ourselves. But in some ways, there's a lot of people that are so disconnected from their bodies because of all of this stuff that's coming at us. You need this, eat this, eat that. Where if we listen to our bodies are telling us, no, maybe your body doesn't work so well on that food. Maybe we need to change it to another food, or, prepare it a different way. So these are the things that I work with my clients, is helping them reconnect, helping them learn how to plan so that they are eating the foods that are best for them. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Hopefully my voice is cutting out.
I can finish it for you if you need me to. Yeah. And that's the thing about this summit is, so if you are in the habit of watching TV or streaming, which sure, whatever, but here's some content. There's 33 interviews here for you to get in the habit of streaming next month, to really start engaging with, what is it that I want? How do I want to show up in 2026 and for this next cycle that we're in, that is really an opening for change? And we've been here all month talking about it. And Kirsten and Imani, we've been putting a direct light on it today for you. Linda, your talk is breaking free from imposter syndrome. So if you're the one that you've been waiting for, the imposter syndrome needs to break free.
Absolutely. I mean, it all comes back to self-awareness, knowing who you really are, because most of the time who we think we are is not right. And if you really want to activate your prosperous life, you have to know that, because how can you come into alignment with who you are and what you want if you don't know who you are, if you're disconnected from yourself? I used to believe, like you, Jennifer, that I was always meant to be in the background. I didn't have a voice, I didn't have anything to share, but I could support other people. I was really good at doing that. But life kept putting me in positions where I had to be out in front, and I didn't want to be out in front initially. But then I realized that's part of who I am. I do have a voice. I do have a lot to share. And so once I understood that, then being out in front, sharing my message, working with people became joyful, not something to be scared of. So, if you really do want to activate your prosperous life, you are the only one who can do that, with the support of the coaches that can help you. But you have to reconnect with who you are. That's how you can thrive. You have to discover what that is and start letting go of all those layers of everything that other people have told you you are or you're not, all the stuff that really isn't you, and actually come into. And sometimes it's scary, like it was for me. I used to be terrified of public speaking or speaking in front of groups. That was the last thing I wanted to do. Now I love it. So once you connect with who you really are, it is joyful. It is liberating. It's not struggle. It is exhausting to constantly live as someone you are not, to constantly compare yourself to others. You will always find yourself lacking in some way. Break free from that. Break free from the idea that you are not good enough. You are not enough in any way. Once you discover and reconnect with your true self, everything else starts to fall into place.
It does. And it's good to have somebody in your back pocket, like a mentor, or coach, or a healer, like we are, to help you stay in the middle of the river, like Michelle likes to say, and, smashing those boulders, breaking them up. Arena, manifest cash on demand. You know what? Everyone wants to manifest cash on demand. There is not a single person that should say no to this.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I love that because money has to be welcomed. And if people are feeling shame to talk about it or they are hiding, that means that they are not ready to receive more of it, right? And I love to remind everybody that money touches everything. We are living in the physical world. And money is there not just for us to, oh my God, look how much money I have. Money is for us to create the experience. Whatever is we are connecting to, right? Maybe to buy the gifts, maybe to share more of the wealth. That's why I'm all about the wealthy I am and everybody who I'm teaching, the more we can contribute to the society. It's not about I have enough and I do not want more. It's about how can I contribute with more, right? So this is the shift of perception. And I love to talk about money because money is energy as everything else in our life, right? And the more we understand that we can play with energy, we can work with energy, how can we actually want to welcome that money in our life? And I love to compare money as, a love partner. Just flirt with that, have fun with that, love it, and you'll see that the money is always there, right? And I created this beautiful container, and Jennifer was a part of it. It's called Create Your Cash on Demand in 30 days, and we all manifested cash. Right. The thing is that did we know when we were going into experience that we are going to manifest? No, but we had the belief. And belief is everything because that belief was given us the steps, the connections, and that confidence that was built with every step that we were doing. And again, I love to teach it. I love money and I love everybody who wants to partner to learn more how to.
Yeah. And it's not just doing it alone too. When you're working in a container where there's collaborations happening, you're celebrating together, you're raising the frequency together, just like this summit is. We are building this other current of life force energy or manifesting power that loves to vibrate. And it's like a current, and money is a current. It's a currency. Kirsten, thriving at the frontier of change. Tell us more. That's the talk.
One of my most powerful, sayings from Einstein is we can't solve the problems we created with the same level of thinking that we were in when we recreated them, right? And I like to actually change that to say we cannot solve the problems at the same level of awareness that we were in, because awareness informs thinking. And so to tie that into what we're talking about, so let's say you've been drawn to help create a more regenerative, harmonious world, right? What are you doing? What have you decided to do to up-level your thinking, you up-level your awareness, up-level how you approach business? And I just want to point back to the freebie that we're offering. It has a step-by-step, a framework around, okay, business as usual isn't going to cut it. What are the other, and we call them DNA frameworks or DNA pillars that are necessary to create a new way of doing business, a new way of showing up in the world, a new way of putting out your offerings, right? And it's basically these 4 pillars of, yes, business excellence has to be part of it, right? But then there has to be the inner work. A lot of us have been talking about this inner work, right? Are you ready to decide to make that inner change? But then there's also leadership. How are you showing up? How are you being visible? Are you able to magnetize? Are you able to put a team together? Those kinds of things. And then the final one is living systems thinking, or how we like to say, designing like nature does. That is a skill we have got to learn because nature has been doing it forever. And you think we can learn something from that? So those are the key skills that are absolutely essential to move us into a new paradigm of living on earth. And you have to decide to learn those skills, to develop those skills, to up-level your awareness, to up-level who you choose to be in the world. And it's such a powerful thing to watch people, go from, yeah, I think I know how to do business to, yeah, I know how to do business, but I know how to do it in a way that supports life and the thriving of life. And that's really cool. Where
Yeah.
you thrive as well. I mean, this is about prosperity. This is not about martyrdom or any of those things, right? Self-sacrifice. No, you get to thrive, but the earth gets to thrive. Your community gets to thrive. Your family gets to thrive.
Yes. That's prosperity consciousness.
Yes.
And there was something percolating there, but I might have to come back to it. Amani, tell us about your talk. Oh, that's what it was. I remember. Every one of us has a talk with a free gift for you, but you have to register for the summit to get that free gift. So Kirsten was just talking about her free gift. Every single one of the speakers, plus everyone else who's not on the live stream right now, has a free gift for you. And so there's so much value by just registering for the summit for free, even. Amani, your talk, Activate Your Divine Abundance Ecosystem, totally connects to this topic.
Yeah, I love that. Like Kirsten said, it's like this ecosystem, this living system, right? And so when we start to create a business structure that is in alignment with that divine identity, you're going to be able to thrive more effortlessly. And so that's what I work with my clients to do, is to develop that system, that business model that is unique to them, that allows their specific gifts to shine through, and that creates that consistent level of prosperity and abundance that they're setting out to. That is actually a natural byproduct of them committing to being their divine identity and sharing their gifts with the world, or what I call serving and then prospering. It's just part of the natural flow. And one of the key shifts, or this radical shift, I like to say, is this thinking that I'm separate from the world outside of me. And I love to fine tune that with my clients, because I want them to recognize that they are the one, right? That the world is being created from. So it's a reflection of what's going on within them. And that all the things around them is happening not to them, but actually through them and for them. So when we can start shifting some of our thinking around how we are being in the world, then the thriving becomes a whole lot more natural, and the abundance and prosperity becomes a byproduct of the way we are being in the world. Not so much doing anymore, just being, which of course you don't want to just sit and be, you want to do things. What do you desire to do? And we really tune in and bring this beautiful ecosystem where all of those things become in alignment with who you are authentically. What have you been longing to do, be, or have in the world, instead of the things you thought you had to do, right? You're at the job so that you can pay the bills and you can have a good relationship, but you've been putting something aside that's been calling on you. And we dive deep in the work that I do at Organic Soul Healing Arts and in my Divine Mission Mastery program that supports people to really shift and do these radical shifts so that they are thriving as their divine identity. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, we're getting close to time here, but Michelle and Robert joined us, so I'm so excited. Michelle, tell us about your talk, Feeling Called to Your Next Level. Cool. Does your body agree?
So just like we have these mental templates, right? The stories that have developed over the years about who we are, we also have body templates, right? Certain ways of moving or showing up physiologically in the world, ways that our body carries certain stories. And so what I love about my background is my theater background, and how that supports me to help people kind of break out of the social body that their system has been conditioned into, so that they can tap back into their natural vitality, their natural expression. You know, does somebody tell you not to use your hands so much when you talk? And so you learn to keep your body nice and stiff, and you're not actually showing up in your full energy because you're restricted in some way. And so when I think about this topic of, you know, you are who you've been waiting for, the body is a big piece of that. Like, that is often the first place we learn to restrict ourselves, right? It's protective in nature. We learn to shrink, we learn to pull ourselves back. And so when I work with leaders to come out more, to be more visible, to speak more, to do all of the things, a lot of that work is in the body, right? It's like pushing past those templates that have hunkered us down and learning how to expand our energy in the room. It's very different doing it here on Zoom as opposed to a room of 100 people. How do you manage your energy when it comes to really showing up, putting your voice out there, putting who you are out there? And it's a very different thing when we're standing on stages or speaking as us, right? It's easier to do as a role. It's easier to do when I'm teacher, I am this, I am that, versus really just showing up as us and letting that come through. So yeah, my talk is really about those internal physiological kind of protective body barriers that keep us from expanding. And as Kristen said, like the awareness, right? How do we up level our awareness also in our body, right? How to become aware of what's happening in your body as you are sharing your gift with the world.
I love it. I love it. And so in 2 minutes, Robert, tell us what you think of You Are the One You've Been Waiting For in relationship to your talk, The Hidden Energy Trap. And you're muted.
Yeah, I've been the one I've been waiting for, period. And I found him. We were up in the mountains, and I'll do a real quick short story. We were up in the mountains, and my dad had come along. We were somewhere, I think the Apache Mountains in Arizona. He wanted to just see what the hell I was doing. So he said, well, go ahead, come along. And it was thunderstorm all around us, and we were under this canopy making masks. And he made this incredible mask, really artistic African mask, and he put it on. And then he started going around the whole circle of like 30 people. And he'd stand in front of somebody and go, who are you? Who are you? I am trying to find you. I'm trying to find you. And he scared the hell out of everybody. Wow, really, the thunderbolts were like flashing all around us. It was just really amazing. I was like, whoa, what's my dad going into? I didn't know him that way. And he goes from one person to the other until he stands in front of his own empty chair. And he says, I found you. You know, I mean, wow, that was just so amazing. It was so amazing. It just brings tears to my eyes even now, you know. So yes, you know, I'm saying to everybody, you know, get out there and do your inner work. There is nothing good about drifting. You're completely losing it. The point is, you were given a body. That's a gift that we are in debt to doing something in return for having received a body to experience this three-dimensional holographic reality. So I say to everybody, and then I'm done, you take care of honing and developing your spiritual fluency, and then you'll come into the zone. Your spiritual fluency is absolutely everything. And if you don't do that, you're actually going to leave a huge hole in the landscape of your soul's covenant. There we go.
I love it. I love it. And I love how you popped in to tell us that story. Who are you? Because even in this, I've been asking that myself. Who am I? Who am I? Maybe you ask yourself that. Who are you? Who am I? Regularly. It's a good question to ask regularly. Who am I? You are the one you've been waiting for. Are you ready to decide? So welcome to Activate Your Prosperous Life. You'll be able to watch all of these live streams on my YouTube channel. they'll get deleted in the next 30 days, one by one from Facebook, but maybe they'll stay on LinkedIn. You have access to us. You have a link and a button to push, and come and find out who you are. Thank you so much for paying attention and watching. See you soon.